it's like the first time I've gotten super ready. You know, like I'm wearing jewelry, which I never do.
She wore the earrings that I got her for her birthday. Doesn't she look beautiful today?
Cute.
She looks so pretty.
Thank you guys.
She showered just for you guys.
Thanks.
So nice of you.
Thank you so much. I was telling Daisy, moment of personal privilege, if I may. I was telling Daisy that my knee's doing really good, you guys. I'm doing really good. Like I'm seeing some huge optimism that by the end of this month, I'm going to be almost normal, like getting to normal. So I'm very, very excited about it. Pain's getting better. Everything's getting better. So I'm very, very happy about it.
The happiest I've seen her today in a long time. She even cried happy tears in pre-show.
I did. And we talked about the fact that our old radio song that used to be our intro, which was the Foo Fighters Walk. Where they have the line, learning to walk again.
Yeah.
My song. That's what I'm doing right now, man.
Right? Everything comes full circle. Everything.
Yes, everything's come full circle. We're going to open up the show today with some more happy news. Really, really happy news. And I'm going to let Emily Campagno do the telling of it. I'm not even going to lead into it except to say, here it is.
Last but not least, we are overjoyed to announce the newest member of the outnumbered family. Kayleigh and her husband, Sean, just welcomed their third child, daughter Avery Grace, to the world. The happy parents sharing these first photos with us. You can see Avery Grace letting out a big yawn in her mother's arms. And we are wishing Kayleigh and Sean all the best as they continue to grow their beautiful family. And Kayleigh shared some notes with us today. She said that Blake can't stop thinking about the baby in her own words. She said Nash finally warmed up to her, which is so funny. And most importantly, she said that she and Sean keep thinking about Psalm 139, that they know that God knitted together Avery Grace in Kayleigh's womb, and they praise him first and foremost for that. So Kayleigh, we are praying for you. God bless you. We are covering Avery Grace in prayer, and we just love you so much. We can't wait for you to come back, but not anytime soon. Enjoy motherhood with a sweet third baby. Love you guys.
That is that is very, very sweet. So quick question. Did they have a boy and a girl before Avery Grace? Okay.
Yes.
Just the sweetest. I love babies. I need babies. I need more babies. Oh, you gosh. You guys. So babies are awesome. So is wine.
That's how you celebrate babies.
You should celebrate by opening a bottle of wine. You should totally do that. And you can savor the 4th of July. There's a bundle and more from the Republican Red Winery. You should visit them at republicanred.com and join the wine club. Who doesn't want to be part of a club that has wine? I ask you. Save $5 on every bottle. Just use promo code CHICKS at checkout. Do it. republicanred.com.
All right, let's get into some news. I was just telling Daisy in pre-show that I was thinking I'd wake up this morning and there would be news about the vote, about the big, beautiful bill. Yeah. They're still jawing about it. And there's going to be a vote, I think, at some point. And they're all super tired and we're supposed to feel sorry for them.
They had to work for like more than 2 hours. Oh, here's a
I know. Okay. I do not feel sorry for them, but in any case, there's likely to be a vote today. We'll see what happens, but we do have news sort of around that. And I'm apologize for how maybe out of order things are going to be in today's show, but they just are. Okay. Because like I was behind this morning and because I'm clean.
She's clean. There's ADD happening. It's fine. We're all good.
So let's get into some news and some stuff. First of all, just a couple of headlines to kick us off. The first is that Trump is hosting Bibi at the White House next Monday. So nothing really other to say about that than that, but that is happening.
All the panicans are going to love that. The panicans.
Oh yeah, the panicans are not going to be happy with that.
They're going to love it.
And then also a very special person turned 95 yesterday. Thomas Sowell, 95.
Wow. That's amazing.
Remarkable.
He has to stick around as long as possible, you know?
He needs to make all the records of like the oldest people alive.
Yes.
He needs to bust all those records.
Agreed, Mock. Agreed.
He is a treasure. So that is Thomas Sowell was turned 95 yesterday. Some interesting polling, and that is about who is in the lead for the Democratic potential presidential nominee in 2028. Turns out, according to this Emerson College poll, that it's Pete, Mayor Pete, Secretary Pete, whatever you want to call him, chest feeding Pete. He is the front runner to be the Democratic nominee by a little bit. Like, he's ahead of Kamala. He's got 16% of the vote compared to Kamala's 13%. Gavin Newsom squeaking in right behind Kamala at 12%. Then AOC 5 steps back, tied with Josh Shapiro, and Bernie Sanders, who is like older than Thomas Sowell.
He is. I know, right? Like twice over.
What in the world?
I bet it could be like Pete and Gavin or Pete and AOC running on a ticket together. So they have a female. You could do like Pete and AOC, which I just can't see Gavin not being on that ticket because they're that stupid to put Gavin on the ticket. They're that stupid to put Pete on the ticket. I mean, these people are all losers. All of them. They're all losers. Their bench is so bad, you guys.
It's pretty bad. And Pete, I mean, this is all well and good, right? That he's at the top of this poll, but there was another poll that shows that he has a problem area, and that is he has 0% support in the Black community.
Wow.
0. So
what's he gonna do to fix that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know how you do that. Then I guess the solution to that would be for him to pick a running mate like Jasmine Crockett.
Oh my God. Can you imagine a worse ticket?
There's
so many bad possible combinations.
Right.
But yeah, that is the absolute state of the Democrat Party.
There you go.
Apropos of nothing, but just thought that this was an interesting sort of customer service moment. But Trump had a problem yesterday with AT&T, and he let the world know about it. If you want to go ahead and read his tweet.
God, I love this. I apologize for the long wait on the Faith Leaders conference call. AT&T ought to get its act together. Please pass along the word to the tens of thousands of people who are there. We may have to reschedule the call, but we'll use another carrier the next time. AT&T obviously doesn't know what they're doing. I'm doing a major conference call with faith leaders from all over the country, and AT&T is totally unable to make their equipment work properly. This is the second time it's happened. If the boss of AT&T, whoever that may be, could get involved, it would be good. There are tens of thousands of people on the line. Oh my God. Do you remember when didn't you have a run-in with AT&T?
Yes.
We were on the radio, and I was like, Mock, you need to blast them from our Twitter.
I did. And then I got contacted by a high up at AT&T who completely helped me solve my problem. So it does work when you call them, when you put them on blast and you are in a position where you have a bit of a platform to do it.
A little bit of a following.
You get some service.
Yeah, but what if you don't?
I know. That's why they suck.
They suck so hard. AT&T, get it together.
Yeah, they suck super hard.
They do suck.
Also, the reason for my name today is that your favorite, Nicole Wallace of MSNBC, decided to interview Jason Bateman. So my name today is Jason Batemock. I did not know this about him. This is super disappointing. I should have expected it, but he's a super progressive weirdo who has lots of just disdain, I guess, for Trump supporters. Cannot believe that we prefer to keep ourselves in the dark and void of facts, which is a crazy thing to say, but that's what he thinks. And here he is to say it.
You have to make a real effort to stay insulated from the facts and common sense. I joked earlier about the Trump show I'm addicted to. I really am fascinated. I can't stop watching and marry that to the fact that there are 80-some million people that would vote again for him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would. As he lives in his gated community and he's never known anything, but his whole life is pretending to be other people. Okay, right. Jason. All right.
God, what is it about the creative types, man?
I don't know. In Hollywood, Holly weird. I think his sister is actually sort of normalish.
Justine.
Yeah, she's the one that doesn't do any of the fillers and the Botox, and I've seen her like I don't I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I think that she's more of like an anti-vaxxer and stuff like that. I wouldn't say she's conservative, but she's not your normal celebrity.
Like a rebel. Yeah. She's just gonna do and say
what she wants. Yeah. She's like, I don't give a crap what you think about me. She's that, which I actually really respect. I'd like that better than somebody who's just going along with the celebrity flow because that's safe and easy. Jason. Yeah.
I know. That was just like so ridiculous.
Disappointing. Yeah.
Also, there's apparently this new movement that is called the People's Sick Day. And I will just let this TikTok, there's a bunch of TikToks about this. I'll just let you see this one so you'll get the gist.
Of us stopped working, stopped spending, and stopped producing all at the same time. There's a movement brewing. It's called the People's Sick Day. And what it is a 3-day economic blackout. That means no work, no shopping, no production, just pause. 3 days where we remind the system that without us, nothing moves. But here's the twist. We're not giving out the dates until 48 hours before because we don't want to give the corporations time to plan and stop us from having this happen. Because let's be honest, if they knew what we were planning, they'd shut it down before it even started. This isn't a protest. This is a strategic disruption to the machine that feeds off of our hard work and labor. If you want to be a part of it, go to thepeoplesickday.com, join the Discord, and join the movement. This is how we stand up against what is happening in our country. We need to shut it down. We need to shut it down. So go to thepeoplesickday.com, sign up for the Discord, and you can get more information there.
Why does she sound like Janice from Friends? Chandler Bing.
Oh my God.
She's so hurt. So Democrats not working day. Isn't that like every other day? Isn't that just like
that's how they're able to protest anyway?
Like that's them. That just defines them. Also, you were in HR. You would be like, for the Democrats that do work like in a corporate environment, you would be like, Democrats aren't going to be, the blue hairs aren't going to be here for one day. Woo! You would be so excited.
Well, there's
You're not
so
here to
much,
bitch and moan. Yay.
Immediately I did put on my HR hat and I was like, how is this even going to work? If they're only going to give out the dates 48 hours in advance, and a lot of companies require notice before putting in for time off or whatever. And you're not, if you have like a whole bunch of people call in sick on the same day, those people could easily be fired for doing that. You know what I mean? Like, because we know you're not sick, like we get it. So it's not like companies and corporations are not going to hear about this and know that it's happening because it's being publicized, obviously. And so somebody signed up and, you know, just to see what's going on. This is from their Facebook page. And it's super confusing because they're listing, you know, this is for the working class, the people that actually are the cogs in the wheel. And it says the plan, we're organizing a 3-day national sick out starting the day after Memorial Day weekend, which of course is in the past.
I know, that's what I thought. That was weird too. Yeah.
And then we won't release the exact dates yet. This is a sneak attack. The goal is to build momentum before the corporations catch on. Medical and emergency workers are exempt. So I don't know. Like if you want to sign up for it and like keep tabs on what they're doing, by all means. But like
yourselves out.
If HR people will do that too. Do they not get it? You know what I mean? Like we're on to you. Like you can't publicize and also hide this all at the same time to have a sneak attack.
And I remember
that's not how things work.
You know, when we worked in corporate America, I don't know, maybe it's because I was just conscientious and I was an adult and I didn't want to miss unless I really was sick. I didn't want to not work. I had work to do. I didn't.
And then just makes your job harder when you come back and you've had a bunch of time off.
I guess these people don't do important things and that sucks for them. You know what I mean? Because I felt like I needed to be there because I was contributing to the company. I felt like I was a contributor and I didn't want to not be there unless I really didn't feel well.
Right.
So they're children. These people are, and it's mean to children to say that. It's mean.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, have you been taking care of your health? There's a
Have
way
you?
that we can help you.
Yeah,
We can help you do it.
We can with Healthycell. You guys shouldn't reach for more coffee or those energy drinks are gross. I'm not judging you. I'm not going to judge you. But if you're drinking them, you don't need to do that. You should actually be reaching for Healthycell's Focus and Recall. This stuff is awesome. Instead of having my coffee or an energy, like one of those icky, gross, sugary, caffeine-y, energy drinks in the afternoon, you get the equivalent of 11 pills worth of brain-supporting nootropics and an easy-to-use gel packs. These things are awesome. And we got a pro tip. To put it in the fridge, they taste really good when you put them, especially in the summertime. They taste really good when you put them in the summertime, but you don't have to swallow 11 pills. You can have this instead. It's clinically proven. These packs absorb 165% more than tablets. I take the Healthycell hair, skin, and nails, and it's the only thing that has helped my hair literally in the past 3 years because I had such a hot mess menopause hair. You guys, if you've been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. And I've been taking vitamins forever. This stuff is the best stuff. You're going to love all their products. If you're looking to try one, try the Focus and Recall, and then you can see all the other suite of products that they have. Visit healthycell.com/chicks. Use promo code chicks for 20% off your first order. That's healthycell.com/chicks. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What is it about you guys? Always come. You guys want to see Bear real quick?
Yes, always. Oh,
there he is. Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom? Okay, you guys gotta go away. I can't pay attention to you right now. I've got to work, okay? I have to jump. No, I can't pet you right now. I can't pet you. Go away.
Oh my gosh, I love
sorry,
them so
guys.
much.
I'll get them out of here in a second if I have to.
For no reason other than it's amusing. We have a clip of Jasmine Crockett thinking that she is smarter than this other dude. And I wish I knew his name, but I don't. It's one of her colleagues in Congress. And he's asking her a question about the Constitution, which she laughs at. She literally laughs at him. And then he proceeds to school her. And just for that reason, it is glorious. Behold.
Our country entered the United States illegally, that the due process requirements for that individual are the same as they are for a U.S. citizen?
I thought the question was for me, but it seems like the lawyers on this side or just my entire team knows the answer.
Mr. Chairman?
Per the Constitution, yes, if you are on our soil, you are guaranteed due process. And the fact that there's even a question is why we are struggling right now. In addition to, an additional issue that I have is the executive order that was signed by the president that seemed to get rid of birthright citizenship, which also is laid out in the Constitution, which is why even the most conservative judges have ruled against. There is no one that has ruled that that was okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
thank you.
That's simply untrue. The Supreme Court has made it very clear that due process is a context-dependent inquiry. And someone who is here illegally in this country facing deportation, the requirements of due process are specific to that context. And the problem is that during the last administration, we had 10 million people who came into this country without the least amount of vetting. And it's created an enormous backlog in our immigration courts. Now, what we actually did in a measure that we passed in this committee a couple weeks ago, which I believe every member of the Democrat minority opposed, is we sought to provide the resources for our immigration courts to operate in a fair and efficacious manner by increasing the number of immigration judges, of lawyers, of courtrooms, in order to remove this backlog of millions of cases that now exist. So I think it's highly problematic to hear arguments about due process from the side that is actually voting against providing the resources that are needed for due process. But I think it's even more problematic to make the argument that an illegal immigrant, perhaps with a criminal record facing deportation, should receive the full measure of due process that an American citizen does. That simply is not what the Constitution requires.
Yeah, that was actually from a House Judiciary Committee hearing on May 20th. And
I love that so much.
Right, me
God,
too.
I love
And
it.
I can't believe we're just now like seeing it. It's making the rounds because it was awesome. I don't know who
Yeah.
that guy is though. I don't
either.
if you
'cause
know
it
who he
covered
is.
the caption covered his name.
I know. If you guys know who he is, please tell us because he's awesome. He's very measured. But he's right. It's astounding to me how people like her can be like, they all get due process when they didn't give one single crap about vetting these people on the way in. It's like laws didn't matter when they were all pouring across the border. Now they're like, all of a sudden they're like, up, due process.
Right.
For every single
Exactly.
person. What is going on?
I don't know. I don't
crazy.
know. It's incredible. It is crazy. It is infuriating.
Kevin
Whenever
Kayleigh.
she gets Kevin Kayleigh from California. Okay.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. I
Yes.
haven't heard his name before, but
I haven't
bravo to Kevin Kayleigh because that was
Props.
a smackdown that I very much enjoyed.
Yes.
All right. We need to talk about what happened on CNN yesterday with this ICE app. So like some idiot decided to create an app that tracks where ICE is so that psychos can go and essentially stop them from doing their jobs or worse, harm them. It's ridiculous. At least when Fox talked about it, they told the news story, which is that there is this app, but they didn't promote it, which is really, really different from the way that CNN covered it. So first, you're going to see how Fox addressed the news story.
ICE enforcement officers are seeing a 500% increase in assaults against them. And a lot of this is because politicians like AOC, like Governor Tim Walz, like Gavin Newsom demonize our ICE enforcement officers and give them free passes. And examples like these apps are absolutely obstructing justice. What our ICE enforcement officers are doing is enforcing the rule of law. If these rioters, these activists, and these politicians don't like the law, they should change it. Don't go after our ICE law enforcement. It's disgusting, it's wrong, and it's un-American.
I mean, they talked about the fact that there's an app.
Yeah.
They didn't show it. They didn't name it. They didn't promote it. They didn't tell people how to use it.
Yeah, that's how
right?
you do it. That's how you do that.
But as Mary Jane Thomas just said, CNN hates America. And so this is what their report looked like.
Steps up ICE raids and mass deportations. One tech developer is pushing back with an app designed to track ICE activity in real time. It's called Ice Block, and it's controversial to say the least. Senator Claire Duffy is with us now. How does this work, Claire, and what are the legal implications?
Wow.
Yeah, John, I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of immigrations and customs enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether if they want. So you open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data. And what I think is really interesting about this in this moment is we've seen so many of the biggest leaders in tech supporting President Trump, but Aaron is sort of an example of the fact that there are people within the tech industry who are really resistant to Trump's policies. I asked him what he would say to those tech leaders who, for example, were at the inauguration. Here's what he told me. Take a listen.
Oh my God.
They interviewed the guy.
I understand that you have shareholders to report to. I understand that you have employees that need their paychecks. But at what point do you say enough is enough?
Okay, and John, I should say that ICE did not respond when I asked them about this platform and about Aaron's opposition to their activity.
Except that ICE says CNN never reached out to us for comment. And if they did, we would have provided this statement in which they said this is reckless journalism. This is overt activism. But the best part about it, I guess, is that now that CNN promoted it, now people are going to it in droves to just put fake locations, right? To make it utterly useless.
I encourage people to do that. Conservatives should go out there and just flood the crap out of it. Just flood it. Look at that tool. Like that's look at him. I mean, it totally tracks. It tracks you guys, doesn't it track? I mean, look at him. I swear. And so they give free advertising for this. They just give free advertising to their 14 followers. But what if somebody developed an app that tracked CNN journalists MSNBC journalists, ABC, CBS, all of them. What if they tracked all of them? Would they be delighted about that? You know, because this is the thing. ICE agents are just doing their jobs.
Right.
And now CNN just put them in danger.
It's just so irresponsible, unfortunately. And it is irresponsible. You're
so
absolutely
irresponsible. Right. Yeah. And listen, if you're breaking the law, you should face consequences. Bottom line about all of this. Like, that's what Soy Boy here needs to understand. If I broke the law, I'd go to jail. And you know what? I'd be separated from my family.
That's how jail works.
That's how committing crimes works in this country.
Exactly. So Karoline Leavitt, when she held her presser yesterday, she had not been made aware of this entire debacle until she was asked a question about it in the press pool. And here is how she responded. And again, this is why I love her, because like, it doesn't matter if she is uninformed about a particular topic. She listens, she immediately has a response, and it's always spot on. Here is Karoline.
And I just watched a CNN segment on a new app called ICE Block, and it kind of appeared to be promoting this app where you can tell people where ICE agents are. Given the recent rise... An
app that tells people where ICE agents are?
Yes. And given the rise, I believe, 500% increase in assaults on ICE agents, I wanted to see if you could comment on that and why CNN would be promoting such an app.
Well, it's a very good question. I'll have to go back and watch the clip myself, but surely it sounds like this would be an incitement of further violence against our ICE officers. As you know, as you stated, there's been a 500% increase in violence against ICE agents, law enforcement officers across the country who are just simply trying to do their jobs and remove public safety threats from our communities. And that's something we as Americans, including journalists at CNN who live in many of these cities where illegal aliens are hiding and were let in from the previous administration, should be very grateful for. So we haven't seen the clip. We'll take a look at it, but certainly it's unacceptable that a major network would promote such an app that is encouraging violence against law enforcement officers who are trying to keep our country safe.
Caroline?
I think she actually does better when it is off the cuff.
She's phenomenal at her job.
Yeah, like when it's something that she has to read, you know, like when somebody says, here's something, you got to like read this tweet. Like I have to read a tweet and I'm blind. It's like, she does better when she's just going with the flow. She's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's no one that's done. I mean, there's been a lot of good press secretaries, but she is right up there at the tippy top.
Definitely the GOAT.
Could you talk to our audience for just a moment about lean?
Yes, I will. Are you guys like feeling good in your swimsuits, your bikinis, your tank tops? You feeling good about it? If you want to drop a few pounds and you don't want to do the shots or anything weird like that, nothing synthetic weird, you can try lean. Lean is it's great stuff. The science behind lean is powerful. There's all natural ingredients. It maintains healthy blood sugar, controls your appetite and cravings, which is like my biggest thing is like I just like in the afternoon, I want to eat everything in this house. Like that's a big thing. And then it burns fat by converting fat into energy. It's made by the same company that does Field of Greens, which we also talk about Field of Greens on this show a lot. That superfood drink. And they have a sale that's going on right now. They have an Independence Day sale for, let's see, you can stock up and save big, 25% off of lean, which is a big deal, using the code fireworks25. So you go to takelean.com, use code fireworks25 for 25% off. You guys do it. Lose a few pounds. Everybody's happy. There you go. Stock up.
Tom Homan was on the Benny show, and Benny asked him for his thoughts about hearing about this ICE app. And here is Tom Homan.
Along with the clip, what's your response to CNN?
It's disgusting. I mean, I cannot believe we're in a world where the men and women who enforce the law are the bad guys, and women who broke the law, they're victims. And look, it's already a dangerous job. You know, ICE agents are arresting the worst of the worst. President Trump committed from day one. We're going to concentrate our effort on public safety threats and national security threats. So right there, the job's already dangerous. But when you're out there tracking ICE movements and giving people a heads up they're coming, that just puts the danger at a whole new level. You know, it's only a matter of time for someone sits in hiding and waits for an ICE agent and tries to take them out.
I don't know how this can even be legal.
I know.
I mean, it's a very fine line. I mean, because I'm all about free speech and like I get it. I get the whole America's free, but like when you put law enforcement into, and this whole notion of putting them into danger, we're crossing the line. I just feel like this is a really strange place to be in this country. And I can't believe that I just can't believe that anybody's a Democrat at this point. I don't understand it. Why do you want to be on that side? Why do you want to be on the side of lawlessness?
It's always on the side of lawlessness and criminals and illegals and people that are doing terrible, awful, horrible things.
I assume it's because they just hate Trump so bad. Like I don't get it. I just don't understand why these are good men and women who are just doing their job and they're just trying to promote the law. That's all.
And
they're upholding the law.
Crime.
Right.
Why are we trying to not allow people to prevent crime? This makes no sense.
This just wouldn't have happened 25, 30 years ago. I'm looking at these people. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. Someone just asked about the code for lean. It's fireworks 25 at takelean.com.
Was I not clear about that? I'm sorry.
No, you were. I think they just missed it and they wanted a repeat. Yes. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, here's an interesting development. The White House is currently working on ways to exclude illegals from the U.S. Census. This is according to Stephen Miller. This could potentially take away a bunch of House seats from places like California, who are, of course, flooded with illegals.
Yep.
And this makes all the sense in the world. We should not be determining representation in our Congress based on people who are not even allowed to vote.
Agreed, Mock. Oh my God. And yes,
has
Nick,
to be said out loud, but
get it done. Like Nick said, get it done. It's outrageous that we even why would you do that? Well, because they want to win elections. That's why.
Exactly. As you know, I think we mentioned, at some point today, there's likely to be a vote, I hope, on the big, beautiful bill. We're kind of waiting for that to happen. There's still lots and lots of chatter, lots of floor speeches being made and all of that. Karoline talked about it quite a bit in her presser yesterday. And she also talked about the fact, because, Trump is taking big issue with Jerome Powell right now for not reducing the interest rates. And in fact, Jerome Powell sent a handwritten note Trump sent a handwritten note to Jerome Powell, and Karoline had a copy of it, which she shared with the press pool right here.
If you look at this chart, this is a chart of all of the interest rates of many countries throughout the world. At the top is Switzerland. They're only paying 1/4 for interest rates. Cambodia, Japan, Denmark, Thailand, Botswana, Barbados, Taiwan, Bulgaria, Cuba, Sweden, Morocco, Cabo Verde, South Korea, Algeria, Canada, Albania, Libya, Malaysia, China, New Zealand, Trinidad and Tobago, Czechia, Bolivia, Australia, Costa Rica, the Bahamas, Kuwait, Papua New Guinea, Bosnia, United Kingdom, and the UAE are all paying lower interest rates than the United States of America, which has one of the hottest and strongest economies in the world. The president sent this note to the Fed chair. It says, Jerome, you are as usual too late. You have cost the USA a fortune and continue to do so. You should lower the rate by a lot. Hundreds of billions of dollars are being lost, and there is no inflation.
Bring in the receipts. She's got them.
I love that so much. Can you imagine being the Fed chair and getting that and thinking you're getting totally dissed by the president of the United States, but also you now have a piece of history. You know what I mean? He should frame that thing.
Right.
Because that's kind of amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. She always brings them. She just brings it.
Yeah.
She's like, here you go.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay. So there's a lot of very unhappy people in Congress right now because they've been up for over 24 hours.
Oh,
and
no.
they're having to work really hard for their money right now, you guys. It's so sad.
All the new moms or moms in general out there going, so we haven't slept in 18 years. Get over yourself.
Well, one of the Democrats who's a no vote on this bill anyway, who's very upset is because he's missing his family vacation right now and he wants everybody to know about it.
Oh,
is John Fetterman. Here he is.
Oh my God, I just want to go home. I've already, I've missed our entire trip to the beach. My family's going to be back before we that. So, and again, I'm going to vote no. There's no drama. the votes are going to go. In fact, the only interesting votes are going to be on the margin, whether that's Collins or Johnson and those. But all the Democrats, we all know how that's going to go. And I don't think it's really helpful to put people here till when some ungodly hour. And again,
thank you, sir.
Does he put like his beach Carhartts on? How does he do that? What happens? It's like,
I mean, he might want to talk to his own leadership, because part of the reason they've been there so long is because they read the damn thing out loud.
Mhm.
So
yeah, he's not going to do that. Why would he do that? He's not going to do that. No. Actually,
so
I do
sorry
find
you're
it
missing
just
your beach vacay, John.
I know, what a whiner. They're all whiners. But I do think it's funny that they were forced to read the definition of a woman, because that's in there. It's in the bill. And that was probably the most delicious part of it, is when they had to do that. They had to read that out loud.
That was a good part.
Mhm.
One of the people who is very much against this big, beautiful bill, which is not a surprise, he's talked about it before, is Elon Musk. And it's kind of it's re-kicked and reignited the fight between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Unfortunately, they are spatting once again. Elon making it very clear he is on the side of Thomas Massie, and he knows that, Trump is going after Massie pretty hard, but if Elon has anything to say about it, he's going to make sure that anyone Trump tries to primary as a result of voting no on the big, beautiful bill, Elon will support those people. And here is what he basically tweeted: they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. So for every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and votes for the big, beautiful bill, Elon intends to make them lose.
Yeah.
So
he thinks he has a lot of power, which, I mean, listen, I think he was integral, but he was not the reason that Trump won. So he kind of needs to check his ego a little bit, just maybe.
But he could, he's got enough power where he could be problematic.
He could be problematic, right. Right.
In that he's talking about, kickstarting this new party, the America Party. That's another thing that he's really pressing. He said, if this insane spending bill passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uniparty so that the people actually have a voice. Read what Sean, Captain Deplorable, wrote back to Elon.
Yeah, all this will do is split the GOP vote and hand every election to the Dems. By this logic, you should have started your own social media platform from scratch, but you bought X and took it over. Do the same with the GOP. Make your money go further, fund primary challengers to replace the rhinos, turn the GOP into the America Party instead of trying to build a party from scratch. That's the only way your vision is even remotely viable. Listen, the America Party has already been tried. It's called the Libertarians. I don't know what to tell him. There are times where I look at the two-party system, because it is a two-party system in this country, and they are one and the same. I get pissed off at our side too. I think sometimes I'm like, this is all worth, like, we've been doing this 16 years. I get really disillusioned sometimes, but I just don't think that saying I'm going to start a whole other party is going to, I agree. It's going to take votes away from the Republicans. It's just going to split people even further. And it's going to become more fragmented. I don't think it's going to do what he thinks it's going to do.
Right. It's just going to hurt in the exact way that Captain Deplorable is saying. It's going to split the vote. And that is the last thing that we need right now.
Right. I mean, it's like maybe just try fixing the incestuously dysfunctional mess that we have right now. Right. Try doing that. Because that's harder. People don't want to do that. People should be like, just like flip the board and start over. You can't. The toothpaste is too far out of the tube. We can't do that. But that's a lot harder. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, Trump is carrying out this fight in public, which was the problem with the last fight, right? Like, none of us wanted to see that. We just wanted them to like have these discussions behind closed doors. We don't need to see all of your bromance fading, like that's just, the kids don't want to see our parents fight. Okay.
Right.
We don't want to see that. But Trump is, he is taking his feelings public. And so he had a tweet about this late last night, where he goes pretty personal. He says, Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It's ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far. And without subsidies, he would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved.
Okay. I speak guy. I speak dude. And so I can translate a little bit of this.
Okay.
Just in my 53 years, I've learned to speak dude. So here's the thing. It's code. I think this is code for why are you such an ungrateful jerk? Why are you so ungrateful? I let you into my inner circle, and then you come in and then you treat me like garbage after all I've done for you. And I've let you in because he doesn't let a lot of people in, right? I mean, the dude has been shot at. People have tried to kill him. He's not very trusting at this point after the first administration. He's been through a lot of crap. I'm just saying he learned his lesson in his first administration, and he's been dragged through the mud, and he is sort of like a little more guarded. Let the guy in. The guy said the most horrible thing that you can say about a person, a guy. I mean, he said he was a pedophile, for crying out loud. Okay.
Yep.
So when he let you into a circle and you turn around and you act and you betray him, basically, and you know how much Trump likes loyalty, this is code for you did awful things to me. You said awful things about me. I let you in, and that is not nice. And why are you such an ungrateful jerk? That's guy speak. It's guy speak. And he's doing it in a business way. I'm just saying I speak guy, and that's him.
Well, and it's nothing new. I mean, years ago, Trump has said he wants to remove any subsidies from EV stuff. Like he's been, it's not like he's doing or saying something new to spite Elon. He's literally staying with the same position that he's had for years. So this is nothing new.
It isn't anything new, but I think Trump feels absolutely betrayed by this guy. And
totally.
I mean, I get it. I would be too. I honestly would be doing that. I'd be like, seriously? But the difference between me and Trump is that I'm a woman and I say the things, and he's, dudes sometimes don't. I'm married to a guy that doesn't always say the things out loud. Sometimes I have to go, but is that how you really feel? Tell me how you really feel. You got to pull it out of him sometimes. And if you could pull it out of Trump, he would be like, you know what? That hurt my feelings that he did that. And then he would say, he's a jerk. I thought he was my friend, and that's not okay. So,
it's interesting that you say that, because there was a great clip from RFK Jr. on Tucker's show where he talks about what he's learned about Trump and his personality. And surprisingly, Trump is a lot more emotional than a lot of people give him credit for. And I like the fact, we're not going to play the whole clip, but essentially he talks about things that really make Trump emotional, things that he's learned about Trump's personality since working with him. And some of this was just really interesting to hear. So I thought you guys would enjoy it. Take a listen.
President Trump does that. Whatever you think about him, there's a new feeling in America now that, we're back on the upswing again. As he says, the country is hot again, and all around the world, people see that too. And, a lot of things have surprised me about the president, because I, bought into this fact that he was this one-dimensional character, that he was kind of a bombastic narcissist and all this. And, and part of it is hearing it all the time on TV, but also, the way that he conducts himself sometimes validates those. If you have that narrative, you can find things in what he does that validate that narrative. But what I've been surprised in getting to know him is what a kind of deep, multidimensional, and thoughtful character he is, and how well. I also thought, he doesn't read, and he's not interested in anything. He's immensely curious, inquisitive, and immensely knowledgeable. He's encyclopedic in certain areas that you wouldn't expect, like music, and he gets very emotional about music. And,
yes.
And he knows the whole story behind every song.
Pavarotti and James Brown.
Yeah, he cries when he hears Pavarotti. And also the most surprising thing is, because I had him pegged as a narcissist, but narcissists are incapable of empathy, and he's one of the most empathetic people that I've met. And, the Democrats have him pegged as a guy who's sort of sitting, in the cabinet meeting talking about how can we make billionaires richer. He's the opposite of that. He's a genuine populist.
And I mean, I get that. Like, if you speak dude, you kind of see what he's doing here. And when people betray him, he's like, okay, now I'm going to act like tough guy, and I'm going to come out swinging. instead of saying, because dudes don't do that. Real dudes don't go, you hurt my feelings. I thought we were friends. That's what women do. He's not that guy. He's the leader of the free world. He's not going to do that. He's going to react in a different way. And you know what? Elon did him wrong. He did him wrong.
He kind of did.
He did.
He is, and he continues to. And I mean, again, it's this whole there's something in the big beautiful bill that I don't like. It's not reducing the debt enough, or it's not reducing the deficit enough, and it's not taking into account, as Scott Bessent constantly says and reminds us, that we're expecting to take in way more revenue to offset what the CBO claims is going to be this additional deficit. It just requires a little bit of optimism and faith in the process. And Elon just does not have it. And so he's poo-pooing the whole thing instead of saying, here's an alternative that will work right now. Like Thomas Massie won't do that either. They're both like, this sucks, but we're just going to go over here and raise money and not tell you, here's how to fix it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed, Mock. Yeah. And also Elon had that inside track. He was there like every day in the Oval Office. Why didn't he talk to him about it before? Like, if you were such good friends, that's what good friends do. Good friends sit down and they go, listen, I see where this is heading. I don't like this. Let's talk about this a little bit. Why didn't he do that?
I think they did. And Trump told him, listen, I hear you and I appreciate your input. I disagree and I'm the president. And so this is how it's going to go. And that's why Elon left. That's my theory.
Elon was like, I can't handle that. Like, well, you're not the president,
he flipped the monopoly board over. He was like, you're not listening to me. Well, bye. And now it's been awful ever since.
And that's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's just not okay.
It makes me want to eat steak.
It makes me want to eat a lot of steak too, you guys. It's almost 4th of July. It makes me want to Omaha Steaks hot dog real bad and a hamburger. And one of those smash burgers, we're going to have those this weekend. The smash burgers, so good, you guys. Everything at Omaha Steaks is good. We get their pork chops and their chicken, and my dogs are fighting because I'm talking about pork chops and chicken in the background, so they're barking. But we have them in the freezer all the time. And so I have like a filet, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week. I'll have chicken from them. It's so great to have in the freezer and just have it on hand when people come over to your house, when family comes over, whatever. But there is nothing like Omaha and 4th of July. I hope you guys are grilling out. You should be doing that. It's the best stuff. The bacon wrapped fillets, the best. Pork chops. Mock likes the seafood. But yes, I will be doing the smash burgers. So you guys get fired up for the 4th of July with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off. That's 50% off. And for an extra $45 off, you can use promo code CHICKS at checkout. That's like the biggest deal ever. You guys should order today. 50% off omahasteaks.com. Extra $45 off with promo code CHICKS. Do it. Do it. My dogs are killing each other.
What is going on?
No. It's so funny thank you, honey. Oh, thank God my husband's home. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. To the rescue. Oh, God. I'm sorry. They were literally just smiling at me. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
They are feisty in the morning. Clearly. They are feisty.
I'm sorry, everybody.
All right. I hate to do it, but we have to do it. And that is, we've got to talk about that ridiculous Mamdani person. Again, because he keeps making all the news. But it's important, I think, because there's still time to make sure that every single New York Cityer hears what they are facing. I mean, they're facing communism, and I would hope that would raise the alarm bells. But so that we need to talk about it more and more. Amazingly, Donnie Deutsch, who is as progressive as they come on MSNBC, he is responding, as you'll see at the end of this clip. This clip is from the weekend when Zoran was on with Kristen Welker. We played a couple clips of that yesterday. We didn't play this one, though, where she asked him if he would please just condemn the term globalize the intifada. And 3 chances she gave him to say, I condemn that language. He would not do it. And so you're going to see a little bit of that, but then you're going to see Donnie Deutsch on MSNBC even say it's unacceptable. Here it is.
There's been a lot of attention on this issue. So I want to give you an opportunity to respond here and now. Do you condemn that phrase, globalize the intifada?
That's not language that I use. The language that I use and the language that I will continue to use to lead this city is that which speaks clearly to my intent, which is an intent grounded in a belief in universal human rights.
But quickly, for the people who care about the language and who feel really concerned by that phrase, why not just condemn it?
My concern is to start to walk down the line of language and making clear what language I believe is permissible or impermissible takes me into a place similar to that of the president who is looking to do those very kinds of things, putting people in jail for writing an op-ed, putting them in jail for protesting. Ultimately, it's not language that I use. It's language I understand there are concerns about. And what I will do is showcase my vision for the city through my words and my actions.
There is nuance in what Mamdani is saying. I get it in that second answer where he says he doesn't want to get into the business of what language is permissible and what language is not permissible. But what did you make of his decision? And it clearly is a decision. He knew he could be asked about this. His decision on Meet the Press not to condemn the phrase.
I'm outraged that we have a candidate for mayor of New York, Mr. Mamdani, that cannot walk back or cannot condemn the words globalize the intifada. And his nuance of, well, it means different things to different people. Let me tell you what it means to a Jew. It means violence. It means October 7th. It means firebombing people in Colorado. It means violence. That's the connotation. That's the essence of it. And that's what it means to Jewish people. And if any other group came forward and said, you know what, these words are offensive to us, it means violence, it frightens us, I think there would be a response. But for some reason, if Jewish people find it offensive, it's not offensive. And I find it offensive that he cannot condemn those words. And I think he's overall running a campaign of divisiveness. He also came out in the last 2 days and said, we're going to tax rich white neighborhoods. Why do you have to put white in there? Just say we're going to tax the wealthy. I just find it offensive. I find it offensive that in the past he's talked about defunding the police. I think he's walked that back, but yet he voted $3 billion out of a police budget. And I just find there's a recklessness and a divisiveness to it. And I'm offended as a Jew that he can't walk that back.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that people who, they'll look at us and call us xenophobes for not wanting this guy in office, when in fact he is an absolute racist, and he is the xenophobe. He is the guy that is racist, and he is an anti-Semite, blatant anti-Semite, and they will just be apologists for this guy. And then they'll turn around and call us xenophobes. Are you freaking kidding me with this? They'll get the government they deserve. They'll get it.
But it is interesting when we've got somebody that's super lib at MSNBC saying this guy's bad news. He's divisive and he's bad news, and people need to be put on notice.
It takes a Jewish one to do it. It takes a Jewish one to say, you know what? I'm a little afraid of this guy. Well, you should be. You should be afraid of him. You should be afraid of him whether you're a Jew or a Christian or whoever. Because I don't want that crap in my country. I don't want somebody who is unable to say that is divisive language. I totally reject it. If he's unwilling to reject that language and say, well, I don't listen, you can say it's terrible language. I reject it. Listen, I believe in free speech. You can be a jerk and say it, but I reject it. That would have been an okay answer. Honestly,
right? But he couldn't even do that. It's not language I use.
Right.
But I'm not about to say other people shouldn't use it.
The guy is a snake. He is a snake. And
he's good though. He's good at it like Obama was good at it.
They've trained him well. He is an actor. And you can just tell, he's good. You're right. He is very, very good.
He's really good at it. He also, he tries to do the whole, I don't know, there's this characteristic about him where he is humble, or he wants to be humble, or like relatable.
Yeah, eating rice with his fingers.
That's right.
Okay.
Or like the way that Kristen Welker asked him, like, do you believe billionaires should exist? And the way that he kind of laughs about it, but also says no, is just, man, he's good. But here's that moment.
You are a self-described democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality. And ultimately, what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country. And I look forward to work with everyone, including billionaires, to make a city that is fairer for all of them.
No.
So I loved Guy Benson's response to this. He was like, we're going to tax the billionaires to pay for everything being free. Also, billionaires shouldn't exist. Hey, where y'all going? I'm not done taxing and demonizing you.
It's true.
Because that's, of course, what's going to happen is that billionaires are going to
literally.
be like, you're raising our taxes how much?
F you.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
We're headed to Florida.
And he just smiles as he does it. And by the way, dude, use a fork. Honestly.
Oh my gosh. By the way, in case you're wondering about Zoran's background, I've read a lot about him. So he got his degree in Africana Studies. And how do you say this main college? Is it Bowdoin?
Is it Bowdoin?
I have no idea.
I don't know. My kid's not
Some
going
college
there.
in Maine.
None of my kids are going there. So I don't know.
And then he comes from huge privilege. His parents are freaking loaded. So apparently his own net worth ranges from, a reasonable 200 to 300,000. This is based on his salary as a politician and some royalty checks that he gets from his brief rap career. Plus he's got some land in Uganda.
Of course,
but his parents, who one is a Harvard professor and his mom is a filmmaker, they're affluent, and their estimated net worth is somewhere between $2 and $10 million.
Of course it is.
Zoran himself apparently lives with his wife in like a $2 million, some sort of home arrangement
that his parents probably bought him. His parents probably bought him that.
But why isn't he sharing his home with those that don't have equality that he's looking for?
Well, because this is what they all do, right? This is why Bernie has 4 homes that just my wife and I live in. Screw the poor. I just talk about the oligarchy. They're all full of shit, Ma.
Totally.
All of them.
And I don't begrudge them any of their wealth, but
I don't
don't
either.
start, demonizing other people who have it.
No, they should be proud of it. Or maybe not be proud. Okay, maybe pride isn't the answer, but at least don't complain about other people having it. You have it. You have more wealth than I have. You know what I mean? I don't begrudge you having it, but don't keep me from making that kind of wealth if I want to have that kind of wealth.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Karoline, in her presser, was asked whether President Trump wants to see Zoran deported. And here is what she said to that.
Thank you, Caroline. Does President Trump want Zoran Mamdani deported?
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard him call for that. But certainly he does not want this individual to be elected. I was just speaking to him about it and his radical policies that will completely crush New York City, which is obviously a city that the president holds near and dear to his heart.
Yeah. It's always the rich people who want communism, the bad rich people.
Mm-hmm. And then they look for positions of power so that they can keep their wealth while they make everyone else suffer equally.
Right. Pay attention. AOC, she's from wealth too. She's, I mean, make no mistake, she's from she'll say, I'm from the Bronx. No, you're not.
No, she's not.
No, you're not. You're from an upper middle class family in Westchester. Get over yourself. You're from affluence too. So they act like, oh, I'm from these meager beginnings. No, you're not. You're just not. It's a bunch of rich, spoiled brats who are now preaching communism to the masses because, just like Mock said, they want to be up here and they want you down here. It's power grab.
Totally. And Stephen A. Smith gets it. He's got a warning for other Democrats about Zoran.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear. If the Democratic Party becomes the likes of Zoran Mamdani, who, by the way, I like. I'm not trying to throw any shade on him or anything like that, but if the Democratic Party becomes him, you have no chance. You have no chance on a national basis in terms of the presidency. In Senate seats in the House, you have no chance. You have no chance. I want to be very, very clear about that. You might have a Democratic Socialist sprinkled here and there, but that ain't what America is. America's about capitalism. America's about dollars and cents. America's about an economy, a flourishing economy. Okay? And you know what it's not about? Free stuff. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it.
He's very loud. People are correcting me saying that AOC is not from Westchester. She's from Yorktown. I don't know. All I know is that she's from an affluent neighborhood.
Yeah,
she's
not from the Bronx.
She's not from the Bronx. So there's that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We also need to follow up on a story that we talked about yesterday, which was that Bob Vylan duo that performed at Glastonbury and called for death to the IDF. So a lot has happened since yesterday. First of all, his visas, or their visas, because it's a duo, have been officially revoked. So they will not be permitted to come to the United States. And they were also dropped from their talent agency because the talent agency was like,
oh,
no.
Look at that. Maybe there were a few Jewish people in that that worked at the talent agency. I don't know. Could have been a few.
Could be. And because the visas are revoked, that means that there are 26 scheduled concerts in the United States no longer happening.
Bye.
Which is good news. And then there was this unbelievable tweet of someone trying to compare calling for death to the IDF is similar to calling for death to ISIS. And I cannot. So you're going to see that and a response to it. Ash Sarkar said, if death to the IDF is anti-Semitic, then destroy ISIS is Islamophobic.
I'm sorry, WTF. What is wrong with these people?
Which is why Konstantin Kyson said, imagine having such a warped moral compass that you can't tell the difference between jihadi fanatics and the armed forces of a country whose policies you don't agree with.
Right.
This is what passes for intelligent thought among progressives.
I mean, it's like saying death to the Marines.
Right. It's insane.
Death to the Army, death to the Navy. I mean, it's like, what they really don't understand this. Like, I question every educational institution ever. I question it all. Where are the parents? Parents need to really be stepping in and teaching their kids about stuff because teachers aren't doing it, y'all.
God.
Good Lord.
And then in some really, really sad news that follows up on this Colorado nightmare that happened with this psychopath who was throwing Molotov cocktails, the 82-year-old woman who was set on fire has died. She died in hospital yesterday, and there was a Fox News story about that. Here it is.
Update to that horrific terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Prosecutors say an 82-year-old woman who was injured by a thrown Molotov cocktail has now died. In a press release, the district attorney's office said it is upgrading the charges against Mohammed Solomon to include 2 counts of first-degree murder now. He already had faced 12 federal hate crime charges and some 100 state charges in that June 1st firebombing attack that injured more than a dozen others on the Pearl Street pedestrian mall in downtown Boulder.
Absolute
and this
monster.
was Zoran's response to that. I'm heartbroken by the news from Colorado where Karen Diamond, a victim of the vicious attack earlier this month, has passed away. May Karen's memory be a blessing and a reminder that we must constantly work to eradicate hatred and violence. And Jordan wrote back, passed away is a really strange way to say that she was firebombed and murdered for being Jewish.
That's right, Jordan. That's right. God, this guy is such a piece of crap. I cannot.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, I can't.
But
I feel
awful.
terrible for her family. Like, pray for her family.
Yeah. But in some positive news, and this was announced by Harmeet Dillon yesterday, there's been that investigation, that ongoing investigation into Harvard, and now it's concluded. This was regarding anti-Semitism at Harvard, and the university was found in violation of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. And if changes are not immediately made, it will result in all federal resources being cut off to the university. So there was a lot of information about the exact findings, but I thought that was really, really, really good news.
Look
indeed.
at that. They are wrong. Go figure.
Yep. And then meanwhile, what's the name of that Minneapolis mayor? Is it Jacob? Is it Fry? I think his name might be Fry.
I don't know. Is it Fry?
You'll know when you see him. So he's that young. He's probably gay. Maybe not. I don't know. He seems kind of gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, he's is he a Democrat?
Oh yeah.
Then
Yeah.
if he's not gay, he's just beta, right?
And he's a panderer of the worst kind. And because Minneapolis has such a huge Somali population, he, I guess, has learned to speak their language. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And so here's what one of their rallies looked like.
Why are they waiting? What? Oh my God. Where are the American flags? Where are they? Why is he waving a Somali flag?
Jacob Frey, Yarub.
Frey, that's his name.
Doka Magala, Minneapolis.
Oh my God, these people, I cannot.
Mufiate! Satay!
I can't. There was not one American flag out there. If you come here, it is a melting pot. Freaking melt. What is wrong with these people waving the Somalia flag? Your parents don't go out there waving the Polish flag.
Nope. No, they do not. No, they do not.
What in the hell?
It's disgusting.
It
It's
is
absolutely disgusting. And of course, he also was very, very performative and active in the Pride Parade. Here he is again.
You guys are gonna say pride. You're gonna say pride. Okay, on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Theater kid. Total theater kid. Yep. They're all the same, Mock. They're all theater kids. You know?
Oh my God. Yeah. Harley Cat was like, oh, look, Richard Simmons is there.
Mm-hmm. That's mean to Richard Simmons.
That is mean to Richard Simmons.
We loved him.
That's true.
Totally
Richard Simmons
mean
was
to
great.
Richard Simmons.
But speaking of super gay, Tim Walz and his wife were also actually at the Pride Parade, and he was back with full-on jazz hands. Why does he do this? Why does a full-grown man do this?
He is actually gay.
You guys watch him. Look at his hands.
Oh my God, straight men don't do that. They don't. Just come out of the closet. His wife is like, rubber. Rubber.
It's such a mystery why he didn't appeal to heterosexual males, isn't it?
Total mystery. I mean, they put him in the flannel and everything. I'm a lumberjack.
And then they gave him like some tools and a car.
Right. Look at me with my jazz hands.
And
Doing
then
some
here's a
lumberjacking.
rifle. I'm gonna shoot a duck.
Yeah, right. Okay. God.
Oh my gosh. All right. We need for our last news segment this is going to run a little bit long because I can't cut it. You guys, this is
here we
from
go.
Candace's show yesterday.
Oh no.
I don't know what to make of this, but Candace Owens is saying that back in February, President Trump called her and said to her, listen, we might be able to solve the Russian-Ukraine conflict if you stop talking about Brigitte Macron.
Okay. All right. Why are we just not hearing about it? It's July.
Well, because she made a temporary promise to keep it secret, but now she feels like that time has come to an end.
Right.
And so because nothing was signed and the war continues, she feels like she can talk about it now. So some people are saying that she is absolutely out of her mind, batshit crazy, lost it.
Yep. That's true.
I will say though, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily not believe that this call happened. Like I can believe that the call maybe happened. I just don't understand the part where her not talking about it would somehow cause Macron to make some sort of a deal that would affect Russia and Ukraine. Like I'm not figuring out how those dots connect.
She really is in a position to save the world, Mock. She is.
But maybe she's going to save the world.
She's an Avenger, you guys. She's an Avenger. She's
but anyway,
Scarlett Johansson in the Avengers. Yeah.
You got to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. There was no way for me to shorten this. It just is what it is.
Okay, here we go.
And this isn't even all of it. Okay. This is just the gist.
Okay.
And I get another message that's like, hey, keep your phone on. And anyways, this phone call is coming from Florida. I pick up the phone and lo and behold, so here's what happened. I'm negotiating this thing. I'm negotiating Ukraine and Russia. And you wouldn't believe how many parts are part. It is President Donald J. Trump. He is calling me. And in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative. We're not, hey, how you doing? He just like jumps right into the narrative of exactly how this went down. I am literally, it is hard to catch my breath to comprehend that 4 days ago, I'm ending a series about Brigitte Macron, and now I'm speaking to the President of the United States, and the topic of conversation, no matter which way you want to slice it, is about Macron's wife's penis. I mean, there's no other way to say it, right? Anyways, I have Macron. I like Macron. We're speaking at the White House, and I'm walking him to his car. And, you know, he says to me, Mr. President, can I speak to you for a second? I say, of course you can speak to me about anything. What's going on? And Macron wants to have a little sidebar. And then Macron says to him, Mr. President, do you know Candace Owens? And I say, yes, of course I know Candace Owens. What's going on? And then he continues his narrative, and he tells me that Emmanuel Macron is requesting to his face that I stop speaking about his wife. And one of the things Trump said is like, you know, he tells me, you know, she's old and this is really, really impacting her. And then he said, you know, I saw her, you know, Candace, I saw her up close and she looks like a woman to me. She looks like a woman to me. I had dinner with her at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I explained to him that she has had this amazing doctor who specializes in transgenderism surgeries or feminization procedures. I'm talking to the President of the United States about this, guys. This is crazy. This is wacky. And I said to Trump, and I will be honest, that at that moment I realized that one day this is going to go into my autobiography. And so I got to say something funny. And I said to him, you know, respectfully, Mr. President, it's not my fault that he married someone with a penis. He then tells me, we're really close to getting this thing done. And he throws in the art of the deal type stuff. He starts complimenting me. He said, Melania loves you. She says, you're so beautiful. She thinks you're so beautiful. I said, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. You know, compliments will get you everywhere in life is my mentality here. And then I say to him what I've agreed to already in the back of my head. I say, look, I'm happy to do this for the short term. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. But I'm very clear to him that this is going to be short term, and that I fully expect that in a few months I will be able to speak about this. He was about to commit to that, but then it felt to me like someone in the background was like, no, we need this conversation to stop altogether. And then he doesn't say no or yes, but he just says, you know, that he really needs to work with Macron long term, and they have this long working relationship. And I was very clear, this is not long term for me. Like, if you're close to this deal, ink it, let's get it done. And then he sort of offers at the end, he says, hey, maybe I can come on your podcast one day. I'm great for ratings. They're so Trumpian to give yourself a compliment. So I give him the Trump right back. And I say respectfully, Mr. President, I'm apparently good for ratings too, because you've got a leader of a country, the president of the country, asking you to ask me to do a favor. So
there's just there's so many people in our.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're not at that level. Obviously, we're so small potatoes, and I like being small potatoes.
Same.
Because I don't ever want to feel so self-important. Just don't ever want to be I don't want to ever be big potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't, because that kind of stuff I just look at and I go, God, I'm so glad that I live in a small town, and I just don't ever want that. Does that make sense?
Okay, but I'm just totally playing devil's advocate, but like, is it possible that, because he
called her and said back off?
That he called her and said back off. Yeah.
It's possible, but I don't think it's to save the world. I think maybe
I don't understand.
I mean,
because I do think that Macron has it in him, because he obviously they were trying to sue her and do all that stuff about, you know, putting the kibosh on that story. I can see Macron saying to Trump, do you know this Candace Owens? Can you tell her to calm down? Now, Trump should have said, we have freedom of speech here in America. Right. And so she's going to do what Candace is going to do. And like, she's her own person. I'm not going to stop her. And then calling Candace and saying, listen, can you ease up? But like, connecting it to stopping a war
is a little much. That's where the shark was jumped. But do I think that possibly he could have called her and been like, hey, you know what? Maybe let's like back off of the wife. Like, why do you got to do that? It's, you know, I could see where maybe he would have done that. I don't know. I don't know if it happened or if it did happen. I don't know. But but I can see where maybe, but I don't think it has anything to do with her being an Avenger and saving the world. I don't.
The part where she's like, "Do I really want to have like dead Christians on my conscience?" I can't. Like the whole thing is so out of control.
I also find it interesting, and this is just a side note, that the reason that we're talking about her at all is because a Jewish man gave her a platform, and that's Dennis Prager.
That's right.
I just want to point that out.
That's right.
I don't think that's talked about enough, and so I just wanted to put that in the universe. Anyway,
I'm so glad you did.
Yep.
So glad you did.
Yes.
All right, let's get to some My Pillow Talks. I want to make sure that if you are not following Brandon Trousseau on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you want to follow him, you need to, because he's hilarious. There are 2 Brandon Trousseau clips. What I love about him is that his reels are literally 15 seconds tops, and it's him just reacting to something ridiculous. So you're going to see 2 little clips from him. I'll just let them play back to back because they're both they're just hilarious.
Here is a tutorial how to pronounce my name, and it is Nigar. Yes. The G sound is...
The G sound is for get the fuck out of here, because we're not calling you that. Your name is now Nicole, and your parents tried to set us all up.
Right.
I am not a lesbian because I like men. Like this one.
No, I think that's still a lesbian, just in a different font.
Yes. And it's in a serif font. Very serify. Not a sans
Love
serif.
him so much.
Totally not sans serif on that one. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I love him.
Oh my God, he's so
love
great.
him.
Also, here is what it's like when you go to a fancy cocktail bar in Asheville, North Carolina. Okay. So here's this girl's impression of being a cocktail waitress in an Asheville bar.
Let me tell you about some of our cocktail specials this evening. First, we have the Jam Band, which is a combination of raspberry puree, lime, ketamine, and GHB, garnished with one sustainably harvested dreadlock.
Oh my God.
And muddled with a rose quartz dildo. We do want our cocktails to be accessible to locals, so this is pay what you can with a $70 minimum. Next, we have the Vanderbilt, which is garnished with grass from the Biltmore estate. We finished the cocktail with a delicious dandelion simple syrup that represents poverty. Because this grass is upper class, this cocktail is $1,400, still significantly cheaper than a studio apartment. And I can light anything on fire for an extra $30. Unfortunately, we don't have any PBR. If you do want PBR, there is a Chili's in Greenville.
That's where I'm going. I'm going to Chili's. I'm so at Chili's, you guys. They have great chips and salsa too. Go in there.
And then lastly, I just love the caption of this like Ring camera footage or basically like a field cam footage because it says, I know for some reason that this is an orange cat that is in this video. You guys, this is amazing.
Oh my God, totally. That cat is like, you're my Uber. Are you here? My Uber came to pick me up. Thank you. Oh my God. Love him.
Can you believe that cat just climbed aboard?
I can actually believe it, which is why I need one of those in my life.
Okay, we do have some thank yous. Kristen Richards said, just at the store wearing my It's Gonna Be a Long Show shirt from Real Life Creations. And the cashier said, your shirt is cute. Told her about the show and the Etsy store, and she's going to check both out. New fan recruited today.
So nice. Thank you, Kristen.
I know. I love that so much.
So sweet.
Let's see. We also heard from the Ball Pit crew. One of our moderators there, Mr. Gruffy, said, hi, Mock and Daisy. Big hugs from the Ball Pit. Just wanted to say thank you for everything you do as you always brighten our day. We are all right behind you, cheering you on.
Thank you, Mr. Gruffy.
So and then I think it was even late last night that we got this on Venmo from Amanda, who said Webb Hubble is the only one that survived the Rose law firm. Everyone else was Clinton sided. I think Chelsea threatened to tell the truth if anything happened to her dad.
Oh, dang. Juicy.
And now you.
Okay, Jennifer, no. Lily, my service dog, Luck Dragon, is with me already this morning. We're going to try to listen to the show. Probably won't make it through the whole show, but some is better than none. Hugs. Stroke Jen and Lily. We're all still praying for you, Jen. Tim Foolery. I'm planning my 2026 road trip to include COTR meet and greet and a dance with Daisy. Heck yeah, Tim Foolery, got to do it again. April 25th. Isn't that right?
No,
is that right?
Is it the 20? Is it the 20? It's that weekend.
I think it's whatever the weekend of the 25th is. Hold on,
Yes, you're right. You're right. It is the 25th. You're right.
Right. Look at me knowing the dates. April 25th.
Right.
So we're not selling anything yet, but just know that that's the weekend it's going to be is April 25th.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We're going to dance, Tim.
And I'm going to dance.
And Mock is going to dance. More importantly, Mock is going to dance. So there's that. Marie Zembis, turning 55 today. I'm claiming, I'm sorry, my mouse moved. I'm claiming 50 fine for the year. Also, son Isaac, Marine sent to California riots, is back at 29 Palms. Praise God. Yes.
Yay.
Praise God indeed. Robin Dye, looks like everyone's old chat names are back on YouTube, I'm assuming.
Fixed itself, I guess.
Yeah, what's going on with YouTube? Team Media and Publishing. Love all the positive, happy news that kicked off the show today, especially Mock's knee healing progress and fabulous clean hair. Your hair does look amazing today. Carrie Heath, please pray for me this morning. I'm having a procedure done at 10 Mountain Standard Time that I've been waiting to have for what seems like forever. So glad you're doing, Mock. Yes, everybody pray for Carrie.
I hope your new boobs work out great.
Right. Get the bolt-ons, Carrie. Jose Rodriguez, morning from Texas, y'all. All is right in the COTR world. Our names are back, baby. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Take my wad. Thank you, Jose. Julie Wolf, Candace needs meds, a straitjacket or a priest. This all makes sense. Her anti-Israel rhetoric started about that time. Her sense of self is disgusting, a narcissistic grifter. Okay.
She has changed. There's no doubt about it.
She's definitely changed a little bit. Teresa Raymundo. Good morning, chicks. At one time, I just thought that Minnesota was Minnesota, but
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at Minnesota. Minnesota, but now I think it's No-go.
No-go.
Yeah. I'm not going there anytime soon either. I'm just going to stay right here in Texas. That's right. All right, you guys, bringing it in. It's Tuesday. Remember, we've got 2 more days left this week. We're off on Friday for the 4th of July holiday. So also remember, on Thursday, we're going to blow it out all red, white, and blue. Everybody better be wearing the red, white, and blue.
I didn't even notice that we already are.
Already doing it this week. But on Thursday, it's going to be a blowout, an American blowout. So everybody wear the red, white, and blue on Thursday. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.